G'day, Jason the Middle-Aged Gear Junkie here with you for episode 2 of my discussion and opinion series. Today I'm going to be looking at made in Japan Boss pedals that are still affordable. And to put my money where my mouth is, I actually went out and bought a couple of these pedals just to demonstrate how cheap they still are. Now, a little bit of background. The Boss Compact Series was introduced in 1977 with the launch of 3 pedals, the OD1 Overdrive, PH1 Phaser, and SP1 Spectrum, which was a parametric EQ. In 1978, they expanded the line further, adding new types of effects and continued to do so into the early 80s. These pedals usually ended in the number 1 as they were the first version of each effect. For example, the DS1, CS1, SD1, SG1, and so on. There were some exceptions such as the CE2 chorus. All of these pedals were made in Japan. The earliest versions had silver thumb screws, which are more desirable to collectors, and the color of the label on the back helps us to sort of date the era in which these pedals were made, and they can also have a bearing on the value. As time passed, made in Japan Boss pedals became more desirable to collectors. Japanese production ceased in about 1988 and it was moved offshore. Over the years, some rare made in Japan Boss pedals became highly sought after and their prices went through the roof. Some examples are the SG1 Slow Gear, SP1 Spectrum, VB2 Vibrato, DM2 Analog Delay, DC2 Dimension C Chorus, FZ2 Hyper Fuzz, and HM2 Hyper Metal. Also, some of the classic Boss pedals, such as the CE2 Chorus, PH1 Phaser, and SC2 Compressor Sustainer, while not as rare, have also become more expensive. But some made in Japan Boss pedals are still affordable. Now, by affordable, I mean about 200 Australian dollars, or about 130 US dollars, or 110 pounds sterling. The prices I'm quoting are for black screw versions. If you find a silver screw Boss pedal, expect to pay a lot more. So here are some of my choices for made in Japan Boss pedals that you can still get for a reasonable price today. The Boss CS1 compressor, made from 1978 to 82. This was Boss's first compressor, hence the numeral 1. There aren't many first version pedals from this era that are still affordable. I frequently see these for around $150. Not bad for a pedal that is also a collector's item. The TW1 Tiwa was one of the earliest Boss pedals and produced in Japan from 1978 to 1987. It's perfect for 70s funk and typically goes for around $150 up to about $200 Australian for a black screw model. But you need to hurry because the prices for these are on the way up. The PH1R was the modified version of the original 2-knob PH1 phaser. While not as collectible as the PH1, the 1R is more refined and a truly excellent phaser that was only produced in Japan from 1980 through to 1985. You can still buy one for around 150 Australian dollars, although I bought a beat up one last year for only $90. The BF2 flanger was made from 1980 through to 2001, and while it wasn't Boss's first flanger, it was the first flanger in their compact series of pedals. Now, Andy from Reverb recently did a video of the most undervalued pedals available on Reverb today. This was top of his list. Now, I went up and I decided to check out, see how much they were online. I bought this one for only 110 Australian dollars, and it sounds fantastic. It's a real sleeper of a pedal, so if you want a good bargain, you can still get these relatively cheap. The SD1 and DS1 are Boss's longest running pedals. The SD1 has been going since 1981 and the DS1 has been selling strong since 1978. Because there are so many out there in production and because they were made all through the Japan era, you can pick one up pretty cheap. You can get them for about $120. The DS2, SD2 and OD2 are also All very, very affordable, and you can get them for as little as $100. The Boss DF2 is a kind of DS1 with a bit of a party trick. It's one of the first pedals to have an integrated foot switch. So you hold down the foot switch while holding a note, and then you get this sort of feedback overtone, which you can control with this knob. You can control the frequency that feeds back. These were made from 1984 through to 1994, which means there are plenty of Japanese models out there. You can get them from about 120 through to 150 Australian dollars. I picked this one up for $120. The CE3 chorus was not as popular as the CE2 before it, or the CH1 or CE5 that came after it. They were produced from 1982 to 1992, and because of its lack in popularity, you can buy a made in Japan model for as little as $100 up to about $150. Now for my number one pick, the Boss PH2 phaser. These were produced from 1984 through to 2001 and was the last analog phaser Boss made before switching to digital. Funnily enough, there isn't actually much price difference between a made in Japan model and a made in Taiwan model on the second-hand market. This pedal was used heavily by one of my guitar heroes, Mike Einzinger of Incubus. You can buy one for as little as $110, and you can get a made in Taiwan model for about $90, which is a bargain in any language. I hope you found this podcast helpful. Please comment below on any bargains that you've picked up, or tell me about the ones that got away. I myself was offered an SP1 Spectrum back in the 90s for about $50, but I turned it down because I couldn't figure out what it did. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself about that one. So if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. And if my content floats your boat, then please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Remember, you can join the Middle Age Gear Junkie Facebook page by clicking the link below. My name's Jason, and I hope you have a great day.